Hello everybody, Happy New Year. I haven't made a video in a few weeks now. It's been a hectic vacation time, the kids are home and everything, but I'm back now. Today I'm going to be talking about braiding your hair. A lot of people have questions about putting extensions, whether if it's good or not. In transitioning, I do feel that it's a good way to transition from relaxer, but you do have to be careful. Some of the concerns that people have are whether it takes out your hair. I hear a lot of people say braids take out your hair. A lot of hairdressers even say this. Hairdressers that aren't necessarily natural hair care professionals. They do basically chemicals. So I am here to tell you that there's nothing wrong with braiding your hair. Usually if there is a problem, it's because the braider themselves isn't educated on how to put the braids in, the amount of hair to put in, where to be careful on the hairline, and things like that. A lot of times people go to professional braiders who are great at braiding, great at styling, but they're not very good at actually taking care of the hair. So sometimes they'll put too much hair along the hairline, which is weighing down that sensitive, fine hair area and pulling it out. Like those braids, the cornrows that are stuck together kind of on your head. Um, a lot of people go and get those done. I don't think that they're good. They look pretty, but they're not healthy for your hair. If you notice after a while when the hair starts to grow out, you'll notice that the braids actually start to lift off and the hairline and the hair follicles with them are coming out. That means that there is too much weight or too much synthetic hair um, that is put on the fragile hairline. So that means that the hair was parted out very, very thinly so that the hair can have that look of being stuck together. But that is too much hair. I personally don't do cornrows like that. When people ask me, can I get those cornrows that are kind of stuck together or are really closely put together and you can't see the partings? A lot of people have issues with the partings. I say that's part of cornrowing is the partings. That's part of the design. I don't do the ones that are tightly put together because that means that there's too much hair placed on the hairline and those partings. So it's not healthy for your hair. So the first thing that I would say would be to make sure you're going to someone and ask them a lot of questions and ask them, what type of techniques they use to ensure that your hairline is going to stay intact. Because usually that's basically the problem that people have is their hairline being taken out. The second thing I wanted to say about braiding is a lot of people think that it takes out your hair because when you take the braids out, a lot of shedding occurs. Now, if you're in transition, a lot of shedding is going to occur anyway because there is a conflict going on between your natural hair and the straight hair. So the straight hair wants to break off because it's weaker of the two, and that's normal. So if you're in transition, let that hair go because it's going to come off anyway. Other than that, if you have all natural hair and you're braiding your hair and it comes out a lot when you take the braids out, that just means that your hair, like in my last video about shedding and breakage, that just means that your hair hasn't been able to shed for those 4 to 8 weeks that you've had those braids in. So it's normal. Um, so that's basically it. A good reason to get braids is just for a switch up in styles. There's a lot of different braid books out there now. In the past there haven't been, but now there's a lot of different braid books and natural hairstyling books. You can ask your stylist to, you know, pick up some if that's what they do. Or you can go purchase some yourself at a hair supply store. And just for a style switch up, it's really nice. Braids are really pretty. They can be really elegant or, just casual. There's a lot of versatility in braids, so I like braiding a lot. It's really fun. It's creative. The other reason would be for transitioning, for growing out your hair. A lot of people don't want to cut their hair off necessarily down to the quick when their hair is just growing out natural. They don't want to cut it all off, so they want to give their hair, their new growth, some time to grow in. So that's a good way to allow the new growth to grow in without having to wear it short right away. Um, so that's about it. So the other thing that I was going to say is just look out for too tight braiding. Um, too small partings. If you feel like your hairline is being compromised or stressed, it probably is. Just go and ask your braider, what's going on. Make sure you see pictures of past things that they've done. Just have a conversation with them, especially about your hairline. I can't stress that enough because that's really what is being compromised when braids aren't done correctly. So there's nothing wrong with braiding. It doesn't take your hair out. What takes your hair out is improper braid application, I would say. So again, this is Clarissa from Sapphire Dreams of Boston, and I'm saying embrace your natural beauty, and Happy New Year, Happy 2009, and keep the questions coming because I'm having lots of fun answering them. Thank you. Bye. One thing I forgot to add is when you are asking about what type of hair to buy or to use, I think that the best type of hair is there's three different types that are pretty good on the hair. They're not synthetic hair. Now I said synthetic earlier, but that is not good to use on your hair. It's kind of like plasticky, and it will actually cut your hair. So don't use synthetic hair. Use either human hair. That's my first choice. The next choice would be Toyokalon. The final choice would be Kanikalan. There might be some other type of blends that are out there right now, but those basic three are the ones that are the easiest on your hair, I would say. First, human obviously is the softest. Then I say Toyokalon, and then Kanikalan is the way it goes. But it depends on what you want to do with the ends and things like that. So have that conversation with your braider prior to getting your hair braided, because it does depend on how you want to wear your ends. If you want to wear your ends in a spirally curl, I would use like Kanikalan with the braids and set them on rods. If you just want to wear them wet and wavy or straight, you could use human hair. Toyokalon is mostly for like that straight look or the curly look. The hair is already set in a pattern when you buy it. So those are the three options for hair. I just wanted to add that because I didn't put that in. Thank you.